So I saw this movie about roughly, 5 years ago or something like that. I said, you know what? It's time to re-see this one. And of course, it is a Bill Murray tour de force, very specifically Stripes. Right here, baby. When John Winger, Bill Murray, loses his apartment, girlfriend, and job all in one day, he does what any red-blooded American would do. He joins the army and nearly starts World War III. Recently, digitally remastered, Stripes Extended Cut features a never-before-seen expanded version with an additional 18 minutes of hysterical footage, including 6 deleted scenes added back into the movie by director Ivan Reitman. It includes a 5.1 Dolby soundtrack, plus a full roster of DVD bonus material. A brand new making-of documentary featuring interviews with the original cast members, including Bill Murray. Stripes Extended Cut is the funniest military spoofs of all time. And that's the fact, Jack. So, what can I say? This movie is a freaking comedy classic. Because of, well, many things. One, Bill Murray. That's all. It's just, well, you can tell. He doesn't have 1,000 yard stare. He's just kind of pretend. He's like, I am the new face of the army right here. I am an aloof idiot. He says. They even say the army let us a bunch of idiots in, but yet that the U.S. Army was truly welcome in helping them with the production, which it's like, you know, there are plenty of army movies before. This one's just a how do I say it? A respectable spoof. And no, that is not an oxymoron. What makes this happen is what I've noticed is the scenarios. This poor man loses his vehicle. He loses all three of those things, and it's like, what's he gonna do? He's gonna join the army along with his more mild-mannered friend, Harold Ramis. And with Murray's deadpan sense of humor, the way how he's able to say all these lines, you know, it's like, you can tell that the man's devastated, but what happens is even more hijinks ensue. The training with what happens, you know, it's like going underneath the barbed wire. It's like, at the same time, he gets into a lot of shenanigans. I don't like that word. So let's feature one of my personal favorite montages. Let's feature him saying some wisecrack words. Cut back to him doing push-ups. Another thing happens. Let's repeat this 3 times. Let's have Born Oates be his commanding officer. And let's have the number of push-ups increase. That's freaking funny. Oh, it's in the rain at night, so there's even more to the hilarious dour mood. And it's just... And of course you would think that it's like, oh, this is going to be recruiting. Nope, this is kind of like a guy movie in the sense of there's some sexuality. I mean, there's even some mud wrestling going on because it's like there are these 2 female, commanding officers or whatever. And it's like, okay, we're going to put up with your BS. We're going to say it's like when one of them when Murray was attempting to escape, they say, oh, we're going to we're going to declare this as a UFO report. I'm not exactly sure what I saw. Maybe it was a UFO. And then eventually later, there's this where Murray and one of the ladies are inside a general's home. Don't ask. It's like, hey, they was reenacting what I can only call like an Aunt Jemima skit or something. I don't know. It's there on Wikipedia. It's freaking funny about like what he's going to do to the woman. And, you know, it's consensual. That's what matters. But at the same time, it's like there's this impressive like formation about what 40 minutes in or something like that, where they impress the general enough, where they come out dressed in like in white t-shirts and looking unkempt, and it's like this guy's in like, you know, these recruits may just be what I'm looking for to help with this mission of this MW50 or whatever it's called, this new vehicle that's disguised as a freaking Winnebago. Yeah. When I watched it first, I'm like, that's a freaking Winnebago. And then when you think about, oh, it's meant to be like an everyday civilian vehicle, and things actually get a little interesting. When I was when I watched it last time, I was taken aback by there was a PO like a scene of where the rest of the platoon gets captured by some Russian, what was that? A Russian army base. They do get kind of beaten up, so it was a little serious. There is a little bit of seriousness going on, but at the same time, they do take their training. So that's what I liked. It's like this movie is indeed 90% comedy, 10% seriousness, because there's also a scene in which they're befittingly named Sergeant Hulka, handled by Warren Oates, and Murray are inside the latrine, and I was like, hey, this kind of intense scene where it's just mano a mano doesn't exactly fit with the rest of the film, but the director Reitman insisted that it remains intact just to show that he is indeed stronger than John Winger. So you gotta have that, and you gotta have a little bit of kind of like the POW stuff that was going on, because at the same time, because Murray and Ramis are such horn dogs for sex that they actually steal a top secret vehicle and travel from Italy to Germany in order to meet with the two women. But somehow they retrieve a distress signal, understand that the rest of their platoon has been captured. So it all works out in the end. But then again, let's go infiltrate the rest of this base. Just these clowns, I guess, somehow managed to successfully decimate a Russian army base. It's just great. This movie is great. Of course, Warren Oates is the one who is being the straight man to Bill Murray's over-the-top antics. It just works so gosh darn well. John Candy is in this, and he claims that he used to be a wrestler. Now, this is 1981. Mid-wrestling rant incoming. A pro wrestler. Yeah, he's going up against 5 women, but there's a ring that's set inside with it's mud wrestling. So, this is when kayfabe was still kind of a closely guarded secret, and Vince McMahon hadn't shared it, so it was interesting to see it being taken seriously when he's facing 5 women, 6 women, and the women kind of get the 1, 2, 3 pin, but there's still a boxing round going on. I'm like, okay, this was interesting. So, yeah, it was interesting to see my knowledge of this movie 44 years later, and just it was slippery, I will say that. So, I was like, this is expertly written. No intelligence is insulted. Instead, it's just comedic banter. It's not like the comedy is all in your face. It's like you have to pay attention and watch it. But when you do, you are well rewarded for some of the humor and everything that's going on. I have to say that I was laughing at a lot, even during like the basic training. It was like, okay, 36 minutes and not too much is happening, but it's like there's some fine soldiers that are coming in, like jumping over the logs and stuff like that. And then here come this band of inept idiots, and it's like they're comedically rolling over stuff and hitting themselves. It's freaking funny. So, yeah. Overall, it's like this movie still holds up well. Everything was transferred. Bill's freaking hilarious in this, and yeah, I truly think that you should watch Stripes with Bill Murray. A 10 hut!